Hi, welcome to Teaching Moments. I'm Hillary. So today I'd like to do a review for you on a spelling curriculum. So if some of you have been watching my channel, you know that I have 4 dyslexic children. So I'm actually using the Barton reading and spelling system right now to teach my kids how to spell and read. But before I did that, the first thing I started using was Abeka for spelling. But I felt like they were going a little bit too fast and there wasn't enough repetition. So I started searching out for another curriculum and I found this one, the one that I'm going to show you now. It is a reason for spelling. This happens to be the teacher's edition and this is level A. I have level A through E right here. I was going to try to give you guys an example of the words and things like that in here. So I really liked this curriculum, and if I wasn't going with Barton right now, I would probably be doing this, or it would at least be one of the top contenders. There are a few since then that I've thought, if I wasn't using Barton, I might be using that. But this would be probably one of the top 3. So why do I like it? I like it because, let me open this up. Here we go. This is, again, level A. And it starts out with a story that you read the kids. And within this story, it has the spelling words in there that they're going to learn for that week. And the stories follow a class of kids who go to a Christian school. And they're probably going to be about the age of your child because that's probably the level that your child will be at. And it gets into their personal lives and you learn more about them and how they learn different verses in the Bible and how it actually builds faith and it builds character in the kids. Like being obedient to your parents and listening to what they said to do, and what do you do when you get in trouble, or what do you do when friends are wanting you to do something but you shouldn't be doing it. And it just teaches them a lot of really good character building things in the story. And that's one reason I really loved it, is because it ties all that in together. So that's one of the greatest pieces. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going back, and because I'm going to have to be selling these soon. My children are past what this word list is. The Barton has really helped them, this dyslexic children, to learn. And so we're past this A list, we're past the B list as well. So I'm going to have to be selling them soon. But before I did, I wanted to take one last glance at all the stories. So I'm going through this and reading it to them, the stories to them for their devotional. And then I'll end up getting rid of them. But I really loved that part of it. I also loved that this has like days 1 through 5. So it has a lot of repetition, to where many of the other spelling curriculums that I looked at as possibilities for my kids before Barton, they didn't have as much repetition. And I just feel like the kids needed that, to be able to get that in their mind, especially if we're just going to be having them memorize words and not teaching them how to spell it. I'm so used to Barton now that they give very explicit reasons, very clear, distinct reasons why we do spelling the way that we do, which I think is awesome and I love. But here they have the 5 different days. So in day 1, you read them the story, and then you give them a pretest before, just to see what they might already know how to spell. So you give them the list. This is lesson 16. And this is day 1. And this list is why, my, so, by, go, try, no. And then it's got 3 challenging words of most, going, and no. So these, as you can see, are some of the easier words for them to learn. So they give them a pretest. And then day 1 worksheet has the word shapes in it. I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to grab the workbook for you. I want you to see this. I want you to see this in the child's workbook. So this is an example of book B, but this would be their preview worksheet. So it's a lot more colorful in the child's workbook than in the adults. And then they do this. they have what they call word shapes, and they have the kids, here, can you see that well? The word shapes, and then the kids have to match the words with the word shape and figure out where they go. Okay, this is one of the things I like the least and why I am staying away from this curriculum. However, if you wanted to do this, you could just not do this worksheet. If you have dyslexic children or a child who you think might be dyslexic, if you suspect it at all, do not do this page with them, because this is what we are reprogramming our dyslexic children not to do. I specifically asked Susan Martin about this when I had met her one time, and she said, do not have them do that, because a lot of times what dyslexic children do is they just figure out like the shape of a word. I had never thought about this until I saw this in this curriculum, but sometimes as a coping mechanism, they just figure out the shape of a word, and then they can, then in their mind, they remember what some of these words, what the shape is. So they have kind of like a little guessing game or process of elimination. And this is how they do one of them. And we don't want them to do that. We want to put new paths in their brain to figure out how to do it phonetically and strategically and not by word shapes. So if you do get this curriculum, which I love the curriculum, but I do not like this sheet. So, and it's on day one. So by then you've already read them the story, gave them a preview. So it would be really easy to skip this worksheet. So anyway, that was one of the things I didn't like about them. Let's see here. So then so that was day one. Day two, go back to this other book here. Day two, they have what they call like hide and seek or other word forms. They end up doing some, here, let's see if you can see that. They have some really fun multi-sensory things that they can do. You can either spell your words with crayons, or you can spell your words out loud, which is great multi-sensory stuff. You speak it, you hear it. Spell your words with chalk. Spell your words in the wet sand. It's just some real creative, fun things. That is one thing I like about this, is the multi-sensory uses, and you can check which one you want to do. So I would say, you know what, get rid of the word shapes and just do one of these fun multi-sensory things. And still in day two, you could still have them do a different multi-sensory one if you wanted to. So there was day two, and then on day three, you're supposed to give them their sentence fun. Maybe I should be showing you this than the other one. I keep switching back and forth, I know. Okay. You give them, okay, so here you need to unscramble the words. That was one lesson. And then this one, they have part of a word, and then they have to fill in these other words. These are words they should know how to spell from either past lessons or from the new lesson now, because they should have been studying their words by this. This is day three. And then down here, there's like proofreading. You need to figure out which word is spelled incorrectly. And then day four, there's a game that they can play. Okay, so I found this one a little bit more challenging when I'm homeschooling, because who are you gonna play the game with? Like, play the game with themselves, or, you know, siblings might not be at that level, but they do also have another option. And so I had to grab the teacher's book. They also have, you can do a journaling sessions, provide a meaningful reason for correct spelling through personal writing. And then it just gives you different prompts for journaling, that they can journal something. So I like that there was 5 days worth of activities, and so it was very repetitive. There's multi-sensory things that they use, and you can spread that out. You can just, even if you see a page that you're like, they give you several different options sometimes on several of those days, you can spread that out if you want and take out some things maybe you don't like and spread that over different days. You can rearrange it if you wanted to. So I like that. So the faith, character building stories, the repetition, and the multisensory, I love those. Okay, so I did not like the word shape. Did not like that at all. I also didn't like how little amount of instruction there was to know how to spell a word. So vowels are tricky for everybody. For dyslexic kids, definitely, but for everybody. When do you spell it with just the long E or the short E, or when do you use EA or EE? it can just get tricky. That's where the English language gets a little challenging. So for those reasons, they need to have more clear instruction on when to spell it that way. And also at the end of a word, when do you spell it with a CK? When do you spell it with a C? Or when do you sometimes just use a K? I wish there would be more clear instruction. That was my beef with Abeka as well. I didn't feel like they gave very good reasonings on, or like flags for you on, hey, this is what's going on in this word. Now you know you need to spell it with a CK or what have you, whatever it be at that time. So let me just give you an example. This is level A. And in day 1, they're giving them words like boy, joy, some, come, from, love, of. So it says, in many words, the sound oi is spelled with OY. Some words have the sound spelled with O consonant E. But it doesn't give you, I just don't feel like that's clear enough explanation of when you do what. Let me give you another example. Oh, I do have it on here. Another example in the same book. The list has like as, has, happy after said, which technically that's a sight word. They should be learning that in their sight words, not in the spelling list like this. But in many words, is spelled with a, and it is often spelled this way when it is at the beginning or in the middle of a word. But not always, because like said is different. So just seem like not as clear instruction as there really should be. I think I'm spoiled now because I have Barton and it gives very clear instruction. But in many words, the sound of E is spelled with E, EE, or EA. A contraction is a short form of 2 words. An apostrophe takes the place where you left out the letter. Okay, so contractions were really hard for my kids, and they had to just learn it, just the contractions. And they had to go through it many times, which is why I have one of my reading games. One of my first videos is a reading game using Connect 4, and they're learning how to spell and read their contractions. We'll read them, and then hopefully we'll learning how to spell them goes along with it. So that's why I play that game with them a lot. But I just feel like there needed to be more clear instruction on spelling. This is spelling class after all, and I felt like it lacked that. So, however, if you have a child who is good at spelling and it's naturally a good speller, then this can still be a good curriculum for you. Like some states do require you to do spelling, other states do not. So if you're in a state that does require you to do spelling, and this might be able to work for you. Maybe spelling isn't a problem with your child. But if you have a child that needs more instruction, maybe this one won't be for you. And I did want to mention for sure, I think you've heard some of the clips here that this is faith-based. It is a Christian curriculum for sure. If you're not into doing Christian curriculum with your kids, this is probably not going to be for you. But if you like that, you may like this. One more thing I want to mention. So the curriculum is called A Reason for Spelling. They also have a reason for reading, a reason for science, and a reason for handwriting. We didn't do the science, but we did the other 2, and I plan on doing a review on those as well. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I do plan on doing that. I plan on doing a review on most of the curriculum I have to just help you guys learn about it. There's so much out there. It's always nice to have a video on that. Anyway, if you're going to do a reason for spelling on the homeschool side of it, for homeschool pricing and those kind of things, they call it a beginning advantage, not a reason for. It's the same curriculum, and it will come to you with the books do say a reason for, but this is just because they have different pricing for schools than they do for homeschoolers who would want more of the individual books, and then the private schools, Christian schools, will want more of the, bulk pricing or whatever. So they price them out differently. So a beginning advantage is what you want to look for if you are a homeschooler. That would be the website to find it on and to order it from. So there's that tip. So I do like the curriculum. All in all, I really do like it. There was a few flaws that I found in it, mainly because of my kids' dyslexia, but a few flaws I found in it, but I really did like it overall. So I hope this is giving you a better idea of what's going on with the curriculum, and thank you for watching this video.